Joining me now is Michael Steele, co-host of The Weekend and the former chair of the Republican National Committee back in the olden days when there was a Republican Party that was normal, and MSNBC political analyst David Jolly. But Michael, you were the head of the Republican Party. The Republican Party's always been for tax cuts. That's not new.
Right.
But now what they're doing is, there was always this lie that they were going to be paid for. They're going to be paid. They're never paid for, right? They always just blow a hole in the deficit. But now they're literally like, we're cutting farmers' money and Medicaid. And don't worry, we're going to send you $5,000, which when are they going to send them that? They're not even. And if you've lost your farm, well, that doesn't help. Your thoughts?
No, I agree with that. None of it is geared towards the working middle class of this country, and certainly not the working poor. And so these programs which DOGE is going after in the guise of efficiency is really more designed to create those lanes to justify spending on the back end. All of this money is being accumulated to your lead-in to pay for the tax cut. That's the end game. So let's not be stupid, people, and understand exactly what the deal is here. This is not about government efficiencies, because there's nothing efficient about what Elon Musk is doing. Secondly, the New York example of the pricing that the city put in place with the state's approval. This flies in the face of everything that George Mason talked about. And there were a lot of folks at the time concerned about an overreaching federal government. So the party that said, hey, the federal government has no place in states' rights, that little 10th Amendment thing, right, where the states get to call the shots for themselves and their local governments, even that's now blown out of the water. That cover has been exposed. So now we have a fuller appreciation of what the end game is here. This new cover of Time out of the White House today with Donald Trump with a crown on his head, that's the end game. And the price that's going to be paid are civil liberties, the taxes that you have to pay for your rights to be taken from you, and ultimately an expansion of a very wealthy class of individuals that will be the American version of oligarchs. That's really the end game here. And across the way, Donald Trump gets richer and richer in the process.
Right. I mean, look, I've long said that, it always comes down to tax cuts, David, right? I mean, you're in Congress.
Sure.
I mean, but the thing is that if you just say to people, we're going to cut really rich people's taxes, and we're going to make you pay for it by cutting your Medicaid. People go, oh, no, I don't want that. So instead you say, DOGE is going to magically find all the ways for it. And they go after stuff that is easy for people to demonize. Foreign aid. Like, people think foreign aid is like, hundreds of billions or thousands. They think it's all this money when it's really a tiny bit of money. But you say the foreigners aren't going to get the money. Here's one of the things that Trump just did a new EO. Stop federally funding work for unaccompanied migrant children. Do you really think that we're spending so much money providing legal assurance to unaccompanied migrant kids that if you just get rid of that, suddenly the tax cuts are paid for? They're not. But the way they're being paid is if you go through all of these people who are losing USAID money. California has the most farms impacted, but you know who's second? North Carolina. You know who's third? Indiana. Yeah. Florida's then New York, but then you know who's next? Florida, then Minnesota. It's going to be farmers in red states that are going to pay for that tax cut, and that's what they never want to tell you.
Yeah, Joy, I love having this conversation with you and Michael right now because we all get to spit some truths. I mean, I lived in the belly of the beast on Republican tax cuts in Congress and so forth. And I'll tell you a story. I was a co-sponsor of many of those tax cuts. And I remember there was an estate tax cut, or a death tax as Republicans call it, that I was a co-sponsor of. It lived out there for about a year. And all of a sudden, we brought it up on the House floor to pass it. And I go to leadership and say, OK, now how are we going to pay for it? And a member of leadership looks at me and says, oh, we don't pay for tax cuts. Republicans haven't paid for tax cuts for decades. And here's the other truth that is really critically important for all of this branding that Trump and his doges are doing about federal spending cuts. Nothing, absolutely nothing that DOGE is doing right now would ever come close to paying for the tax cuts.
Right. Correct.
Less than 2% of the federal budget is federal employees, about 1.7%. So let's say you cut 10% of the federal workforce. That is less than 0.2% of the federal budget. That is not paying for $4.5 trillion of tax cuts. And secondly, even if you go after the programs, 70% of our budget is mandatory spending, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, interest on the debt. 30% is what DOGE can look at. Well, half of that is defense, which are not really cared about.
Correct.
So now 15% of the federal budget, actual services, domestic services to people, is what they want to target. And all they're doing is causing unnecessary pain and disruption and chaos and suspension of services for nothing. None of this will actually pay for Republican tax cuts, but they don't care. They don't want it to. And the scariest part is this. Donald Trump is a lame duck who's not going to be on the ballot again. So he doesn't actually care if people get ticked off at him. Now, there's question about other Republicans going along with it. Why? But right now, they're exerting a ton of pain on the American people for zero in return.
Right. I mean, and the thing that's been so wild, Michael, is watching Republican members sort of meekly say, hey, maybe please don't cut my Kansas money, but not really fight for it. Right. And you know, the first thing they're going to throw overboard is tax on tips. They're not going to do that. The first thing they're going to throw overboard is no tax on Social Security. That's not going to happen. They're going to keep all of the stuff that's going to help Elon Musk. You think they're going to cut Elon's defense contracts?
Thank you,
they're
Joy.
not. He's going to make money
Joy.
while all regular people out in the heartland are going to get hosed.
I mean, America, the richest man in the world, is sitting atop of our federal government. And that 30% that my buddy David just referred to, he's a big part of that 30% in his government contracts, the 17 or 18 contracts he has. Is he looking at that? No. Is he going to look at that? No. The waste, fraud, and abuse in an Elon Musk contract, I'd love to take a fine-tooth comb. Let David Jolly, who sat on those committees, go through those contracts. I bet you he'd find a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. But, you know, what's waste, fraud, and abuse for you is not for me. All right. Correct. And that's the space we're into. So we just need to be honest about this. I mean, the reality of it is the American people are now slowly waking up to this new reality. Yes, even in red states where you've now got members going and quietly, as you rightly noted, saying, please don't cut this program because it's going to hurt my people. Well, really? Oh, you're just realizing that? You've been out here, promoting this. And so now you want to cleave out a little corner for your folks? Well, what about the folks next door? What about the folks down the street? And so that's the compounding reality that needs to be leveled up in these conversations.
And David, 80% of federal workers don't work in Washington. They work out somewhere else in the country. They're going to be all these unemployed people that are in their 50s that have been doing this job for 30 years that have no jobs. They're going to have to figure out what to do with them. They're cutting Medicaid while all that's happening. This is going to hurt a lot of Republicans right where it hurts, and they don't seem to care. Why aren't any of them saying we want to audit Elon? Why don't we audit his stuff? Where's the call to audit him and his contracts?
Yeah, when you're elected, you either lead or you follow. And Republicans are a bunch of followers right now, not leaders. And you're right. They're going to hear from their constituents because it's going to impact local economies. You're going to see services reduced. Take the national park system, particularly those communities that thrive on kind of the national parks economy. Forget about it. It's getting wiped out right now. And so to expect Republicans to stand up, I think we'll never see that. But here's what I think is truly going to emerge for the midterms. I think money in politics, every 10 years or so, comes around as something that people just see it and they get it. And in this case, money in politics is the thread between Donald Trump's corruption and his grift and his graft and his personal businesses and contracts that compromise national security is willing to lead us into, the involvement of Elon Musk. But it's also the wealth gap that gets expanded through Republican tax cuts, where the billionaires get theirs and other people get left behind, either because you're a civil servant who loses their job, or you're simply seeing somebody whose taxes and wages aren't getting better and your services are getting cut. Watch for this to develop. There is a resentment growing. No more billionaires in politics is a simple message for a lot of voters right now.
And by the way, $5,000 will be life-changing for a lot of families in America. I promise you, they'll never give it to them. They're not going to give them that. The first thing they're going to throw out is that because Elon needs his contracts and his money. It's not about y'all. It's about him getting his money. We're out of time, but very quick, Michael, very quick.
Real quick, just a question for the American people. Envision what a recovery looks like on the other side of all of this when this administration is done and the damage has been wrought. Have you considered how we're going to build back the infrastructure of the federal government to reestablish those programs that you now rely on to pay for your kids, to help your kids, to help your family?
Yeah, because it's going to be G-O-N-E gone because they got to pay for that tax cut. Michael Steele and David Jolly, thank you guys for spitting some truth. We appreciate it.